Hey everybody, what's up? It's Audra and welcome back to episode number 2 of Chat with Audra. So in case you guys missed the first episode and you're unsure of what this is, it basically is a podcast type format for me on my YouTube channel to talk about topics that you guys chose. So I posted a thing on my Instagram story a while ago just asking you guys what you would like to hear me talk about in this new series that I'm going to be doing on my YouTube channel. And I sifted through all of them. I picked a topic for last week, and now we are on to episode number 2. So I picked a new topic from that same group of suggestions. And like I said in the last video, if you guys have any suggestions, feel free to leave them in the comments of this video, and I will always take them into consideration for next month's episode, not next week. But anyways, we are on to episode number 2, and we're just gonna get right into it. So this week's topic that I'm gonna be talking about was suggested on my Instagram, as I said, and it was a question and a discussion about how being in a relationship changed me. Now, since you guys know me pretty well from being on the internet, but not quite as well as you think you do, especially when it comes to being in relationships, because it was something that I truly and genuinely avoided for a very, very long time because of the position I was in and my job and what I was doing. You know, that's not an easy thing to bring up to a person when you're in college and when you're in high school. It's not really like a thing that happens. It's not really normal. So it definitely was like a little bit of a problem causer for me, my job. But enough about that. We are really going to deep dive into what being in a relationship has done for me personally, my personality, my mental health, my mindset, you know, all the things. So we've got 4 main topics to get through, just like the last video. So let's dive in on topic number 1. So first we're going to start off with, as you guys have probably heard in the Q&A that I did with my boyfriend, Zach. If you haven't, you can go watch that. But the biggest change for me when it comes to being in a relationship compared to what I, was like before is I do genuinely have feelings now. And that sounds stupid, I know. But I truly was like a unfeeling person. Like I had no emotions and I just did not care at all to like open up that side of myself because I was like, I'm too cool for this. I don't have emotions and I don't care and I don't get sad and, the usual. So genuinely, I didn't care to do anything other than work, and I never cared to like dive into my emotions or other people's emotions or anything. So I just do genuinely have feelings now. I do get sad when we leave for tour now because obviously like I love going on tour. That's never going to stop. But before I never had a reason to get sad about leaving. I would just go. And obviously my family and stuff like that's different, but they were so used to it and I was so used to it. And now I'm like, oh, I have this person that I see all the time, every day, like spend all of my time with, and then all of a sudden, gone. And I think it's just an interesting thing that in a good and a bad way where I was like, okay, now I have to like deal with these emotions and this sadness that I feel when I'm gone. And I get over it really quick because obviously we still are able to talk to every day. And, it doesn't really make a huge difference other than I'm just not here. But it is a change and it's something that I wasn't expecting. And I just kind of stumbled upon, I guess you could say. So I think the big thing for me is I do really genuinely have real feelings and not just about being in a relationship. I think it opened me up to a whole entire world of, I have feelings about everything now, things that I didn't ever have feelings about before, whether it's sadness, anger, happiness, anything. Like I just truly feel more than I did before I was in a relationship. Moving on to part 2 of this, topic number 2 of this question, I definitely have gotten more confident in myself. And I know that seems weird and like not a thing that you would say when you get into a relationship, but it's true. I mean, I think I have the confidence in myself. I always have been confident in myself. But your confidence coming from yourself can only do so much for you. There's obviously still times when you doubt yourself. And now I have like the biggest hype man to be like, no, like you're good. You're good at whatever I'm stressing about. You know what I mean? And it makes me a lot more confident in the things I want to do and, voicing my opinion and having like, a thought of that might be different than somebody else's. And, when I was like, I want to start doing this type of content on my YouTube channel, he was like, that's awesome. Like, do it. And it just like pushes me to do new things in a way that I wouldn't have been confident in doing it before, because I was like, I'm in my own head about this. Nobody's going to like it but me. Like, and I just overthink. And now I feel more confident in all my decisions because I have somebody there who can back me up or who can be like, no, that is stupid. Like, what are you thinking? Why are you going crazy about this? And I think it just helps me make decisions faster and do more things that I like to do and have an opinion and voice an opinion on things that I maybe never would have before. Next thing I'm going to talk about is independence. And I think that I'm trying not to make it come off like in a weird way of I'm being less independent, but not in a bad way, because I was very independent and to the extent that like I do everything by myself. I never would ask anybody for anything. I never would ask for help, even if I needed it. Like I'm just very like, I can do it all and I don't need anybody else. But that's not true. And it's not true for anybody. And that's definitely gets me in a bad mindset sometimes, where I'd get so stressed about things, even little things like, oh my God, I have to clean my house. I can't believe that I let it get like this, blah, blah, blah. And now I have somebody who can help me with that. And I'm not afraid to ask for help. And I'm reliant on somebody else, and I can have somebody else there to talk through emotions when I need to. And I feel okay letting somebody help me and letting somebody into my life, which is something I was not okay with before. So in terms of being less independent, I mean that in a very good personal growth way, to the point where I'm okay with saying I need help and I'm okay with relying on somebody else, when before I had no trust in anybody else to do that. And I think I've definitely become more trusting in also a good way, because I just never was. And I was very hesitant to trust and to ask for help and to do all these things. And now I just am not. And I think that's what being with the right person can kind of do for you. So moving on to the last little portion of this topic for me is I think I've become, since I've been in a relationship, more conscious of other people's feelings, not just in a relationship sense, not just your partner, but like the people around you, your friends, your family, your coworkers, your random people. Like, it doesn't matter. And I think that again was something that I never quite paid enough attention to. I wouldn't say that I paid no attention to it, but it definitely wasn't at like the forefront of my mind when I was doing things. Was like, if I do this, how is it going to affect somebody else? Or even just recognizing that people maybe were not feeling as happy or as upset as me at the same time that I was. And I think I've just become somewhat of a more caring person in some senses, where I just genuinely want to know. Like, I get to, when I go to talk to my boyfriend, I'm like, how's your day? What can we do tonight? Can we go get dinner? Can we make dinner together? Let's do this. And I think I'm definitely just want to spend more quality time with people now. And I think that kind of ties into the first thing of going back to like, I have emotions now and I feel things, and I now recognize that other people feel things. And like I said, not that I didn't before, but I think I'm just more caring about that now. And I think it also makes me just think about my actions and my words and how they can affect people, even if I don't mean them to. And, I think I just, to sum it all up overall, have learned a lot from being in a relationship. And I think that's what being in a relationship is all about. You should be learning from each other. You should be learning from what's working for you. You should be learning from your mistakes. You should be learning to communicate. You should be learning to love people. Like, I just think that there's so much that you can learn from a relationship. And I like I said, was the biggest relationship hater ever before I got into a relationship. And I'm just like, wow, I can't believe that I was missing out on this part of my life. And like I said, it's not like that with every relationship. I've had relationships where I was not happy and I was like, I learned what I didn't want from this relationship, which I also don't think is a bad thing. But when you're in a good, healthy relationship, I think that there's so much you can learn. And I think it's just a very important part of growing up and living your life and becoming a better person is just learning from the people around you. So to sum it all up, that's what I have learned so far from being in a relationship. That's what's changed me, and that's how I have changed for the better from being in a relationship. I think I just have, become a lot more conscious of myself, of other people, of people's feelings, of everything around me. And I think it changed me in the best way. So what a great question for episode 2 of Chat with Audra. Like I said, if there's any other topics you want me to talk about, please leave them in the comments of this video. I would love to hear what you guys want to hear. So that's it for this episode. Thank you guys so much for watching. And if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to my channel, like this video, like I said, leave a comment. And don't forget to turn on that notification bell so you don't miss an upload every Friday at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time and another Chat with Audra episode at the end of next month. That's it. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.